Welcome back. Now the moment we've all been waiting for. Bum, ba-da-bum, ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. We're going to pull apart the EMG Precision UTS-2 tool setter. The screws that hold this thing together are security Torx. So in order to take it apart, you need a Torx head or star bit with a hole in the middle to get down into the crevice to take it apart. I don't have a smaller one to get up into here, but after speaking with EMG, they told me I didn't really need to do that. That was kind of a moot point. So this will be pretty quick, because I mean, how hard does it take 4 screws out? Now while I'm doing this, I did want to mention that I tried to test the leads with a multimeter, because I have 2 other tool setters that I've gotten from the usual suspects, and those ones have passive switches in them. So I was able to test the leads with the multimeter and see which one was the e-stop and which one was the probe signal trigger, which leads me to believe that this is an electronic switch which requires the power to actually trigger the switch signal. So looking in here, you can see I have the mechanism. I have a wire that seems to be moving as it goes up and down, which is actually attached to this unit right here. The soldering job doesn't seem too bad. The green lead does have a little blip of solder on the top here. I'll show you there. I don't do this with a monitor, mind you, and I can't see the viewfinder on my camera, so I'm kind of doing this. I kind of do this blind. One of these days, I'm gonna have to figure out a way to see if there's a way to put an external monitor on this thing and be able to put it off to the side and actually watch what I'm recording. But until then, what you see, what you get. So there's really not much going on inside of here. Like I said, there's this piece that goes up and down along with the actual sensor itself. There's a Phillips head screw that holds this board in place. So let's try to get this off. Okay. So I managed to pull the circuit board up. And again, there's really not much going on inside of here. The red and black lead come in. They attach to the board. And then it seems like they just go into this area right here, which seems to be cased in epoxy. But as far as the machine parts inside go, everything seems like it's very well machined. The finishes are good on the surfaces. It doesn't look like anything was chewed up with a file and pitchfork. So I'm pretty happy with what I see on the inside of here. Again, aside from the little blip of solder on the one connection. So really it's just this pin, and then this piece here rides on this for stability. There's a plastic screw inside of here that seems to just hold this from moving. There's a metal screw here that doesn't hold anything. Just looks like it's there for a wire race, just to keep the wires from kinking into this area here and getting mushed by the mechanism. And again, there's the one wire that travels on this part. It's soldered to here, so that's what makes the connections. Everything else clears within the travel range of the plunger. The board does have some writing on it. Some of it is Chinese, some of it is English. It shows right here what type of chip this is. This one here shows that this black wire is a lead for the LED. And the LED is here. And it seems like the LED is what is cased in epoxy for the waterproofing. There is a seal around this cover, and it appears to be Viton. So when the cover goes back on, this surface here is flat. Goes on like so. And the screws compress on the seal to prevent any kind of coolant or water from infiltrating the unit. So it seems to be sealed off pretty well in all the areas that are necessary. I don't think I'm going to get too much infiltration on my machine because I'm not going to be running flood coolant, at least for a while. You can feel that the seal banking up against the cover as you tighten the screws, because you have to kind of alternate back and forth until it compresses nice and you get a good sealing surface there. So now I don't feel so bad about giving this guy here a good turn, because I know that I'm not putting pressure against a switch. It's not just a plunger directly coupled to a switch down here, and when I twist it, it's going to break something. It's actually, steel rod inside of here that's holding it all together, so I can give that a good little twist. In the upcoming versions of this, there's actually a snap ring that goes here to prevent this collar from coming off, but this is an older revision of the presetter. And like I said, the circuit board in here is going to require power for the switch to trigger, because it's not a passive switch. It's not just a little ka-chunk that's inside this unit. It's actually the circuit board, and then it's got the piece that rides up and down, which I'm assuming gets some kind of Hall effect or what have you, but that also gives you the pretty LED light as well. So that will conclude my pseudo teardown. I don't want to pull the whole thing apart because I don't have a way of getting to these guys. I don't have a way to get these out. But very simple design on the inside. Not a lot of moving parts, not a lot of things that have the potential to break, so I'm kind of happy about that. The less parts you have in your assembly, the better your mean time between failures. So I think this unit will last a good deal of time. And I'm pretty excited to get it into my machine. I did do a side-by-side next to the presetter that I have in my machine, and this is quite a deal taller. But again, this is more geared for larger machining centers than the one that I have. Mine's just a little benchtop mini mill. I would put this into a 40 by 20 or 20 by 20 or 30 by 20 vertical machining center. I would put this somehow into a horizontal machining center. I would put this onto a 5-axis machining center. Something that mounts it into a location where it's in a fixed spot. Tool can come over, come down, touch, make contact, and be okay. Thank you for the people that have been using the coupon code. Again, I don't receive any compensation for using the coupon. I just get ticks as far as how many people have ordered based on traffic, which for me is good because it just helps prove that what I'm doing is useful and that you guys are actually watching these videos and you're interested in the things that I'm trying to purvey, trying to show, and things that I'll have to offer in the future, which gives me a nice warm and fuzzy. And it will also, hopefully in the future, contribute to more of these unboxing and testing and what have you from EMG Precision, because the more traffic flows through my channel to them, the better my chances are of having more things from them to show you, which is a win-win for everybody. So thank you for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I haven't really checked my metrics in a while, but I do know that the last time I checked, there was a pretty good balance of people that were subscribers versus people that weren't subscribers. And I am getting close to 700 followers, which is fantastic. I think that's great. Thank you all for your continued support, and we will see you soon.